Some people shout when God answers their prayer. They celebrate, they give thanks, and for a moment, everything feels perfect. But a few months later, they're confused, maybe even heartbroken, because what they prayed for is slipping away. The promotion feels like a burden, the relationship is strained, the healing is fading. It's not because God failed. It's not because His power ran out. It's because they didn't know how to protect an answered prayer. The enemy doesn't fight hardest before you get your breakthrough, he fights hardest after you've received it. Why? Because now you have something valuable to lose. If God has answered you, or if you feel He is about to, this message may be the very thing that helps you keep what you prayed for. So why do answered prayers need protection? It's because an answered prayer is a spiritual gift from God. Think about it. When God releases something into your life, whether it's a new opportunity, a restored relationship, or financial provision, the enemy immediately takes notice. The Bible tells us in John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. The enemy's entire agenda is to take away what God has given you, to ruin the joy it brings, and to destroy the testimony that comes with it. The truth is, God answers prayers. He is faithful. But He expects us to partner with Him in guarding what He gives. He hands you the blessing, but it's your job to steward it, to nurture it, and to defend it from the attacks that will inevitably come. It's not a passive process. We can't just receive the gift and put it on a shelf, expecting it to remain untouched. We must be active guardians of our blessings. So, how do we do that? The first key is to stay dependent on God. This might sound obvious, but it's one of the fastest ways people lose what they've prayed for. Before the answer came, you were probably praying constantly, fasting, seeking God's face with everything you had. You were completely dependent on Him. But then the answer arrives. The new job starts, the finances stabilize, the healing is confirmed. And subtly, without even realizing it, the desperate prayers stop. The daily check-ins with God become less frequent. But Proverbs 3:5-6 warns us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." The same God you depended on to receive the blessing is the same God you must depend on to keep it. An answered prayer is not a declaration of independence from God, it's an invitation into deeper reliance on Him. It's a chance to show that you trust Him not just as a provider, but as a sustainer. The second key is to protect your blessing from the wrong voices. The moment God answers your prayer, especially if it's a visible blessing, everyone will have an opinion. Everyone wants to give you advice. Everyone wants access to what God has given you. People will celebrate with you, and that's wonderful, but we have to be discerning. In the book of Nehemiah, when the walls of Jerusalem were being rebuilt and answered prayer for the people, the enemy didn't just attack with swords. He used words. He sent people to discourage them, to distract them, to sow doubt among them. Nehemiah 4:12 tells us the enemy planned to attack where the people were tired and vulnerable. Here's the truth. Not everyone who celebrates your blessing is safe to speak into it. Not everyone who smiles at your success has your best interest at heart. You must guard who you tell about your blessing. You must guard who you listen to for advice. And you must guard who influences your decisions regarding that blessing. Pray for discernment. Ask God to show you who the safe harbors are and who the subtle destroyers are. A single wrong voice can plant a seed of doubt or bad advice that can unravel the very thing God gave you. Third, you must maintain obedience. For many people, obedience is high when they are in the waiting period. But once the blessing arrives, it's easy to relax. It's easy to let those spiritual disciplines slide. You start making small compromises, thinking they won't matter now that you have what you wanted. Fourth, you have to walk in humility. Answered prayers are amazing, but they can also be a temptation. A temptation towards pride, thinking our own efforts brought it about. A temptation to take self-credit, patting ourselves on the back for our great faith. And a temptation towards spiritual laziness, feeling like we've earned a break from seeking God. But 1 Corinthians 4:7 asks a convicting question: what do you have that you did not receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not? Every good thing, every answered prayer, is a gift of grace. God doesn't remove blessings because of our weakness or our mistakes. He has grace for that. But He will resist the proud. He removes blessings when pride replaces gratitude. The moment we start thinking we earned it or deserve it is the moment we are on dangerous ground. The way to protect your answered prayer is to stay low. Stay thankful. Constantly remind yourself that it came from God's hand, not your own. Stay teachable, always willing to learn and grow. Humility keeps the channel of God's grace open in your life. Finally, the fifth key is to keep praying after the answer. This is so important. So many people pray and pray and pray right up until the moment of breakthrough, and then they stop. The prayer that was a lifeline becomes an afterthought. But the Bible tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5:17 to pray without ceasing. After the answer comes, your prayer life doesn't stop, it just shifts. It shifts from a prayer of asking to a prayer of guarding. Your prayers become prayers of thanksgiving, which reinforces gratitude and humility. They become prayers for direction, asking God how to manage and steward the blessing He gave you. And they become prayers of covering, asking for His divine protection over that answered prayer, over your family, over your mind, and over your heart. Prayer is the spiritual security system for your blessing. God didn't answer your prayer for it to slip away. He didn't bring you this far just to leave you. He answered it for you to steward it, grow in it, and for it to be a testimony of His goodness. Dependence on Him. Guarding it from the wrong voices. Walking in obedience. Living in humility. And continuing in prayer. This is how you protect an answered prayer. What God answers, He expects you to guard. If this message resonated with you, I want you to make a declaration in the comments right now. Just type to God, help me protect what you've given me. Like this video if you want to walk wisely in your blessings, and share this with someone who you know just received an answer to their prayer, and make sure you subscribe. Because our next message is all about how to not just protect, but how to grow what God has answered in your life. Thank you for watching.